Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're in the cozy room. It's gonna be another just talking head video, me just hanging out with you guys, chatting with you guys. So at the time of filming this, it is June 2nd, which means it is summertime. I'm off from work as a substitute teacher and I have a lot more free time on my hands, which I'm very excited about. And with that free time, I'm going to be reading a lot more. And I thought it would be fun to just kind of go over what I think some good summer reads might be. Since I got my new bookshelf and I've felt the urge to just fill the new bookshelf, I've been going to the used bookstore and other bookstores a lot, and I've been noticing there are so many books in the summertime. And I'm not much of a summer person. I live in Florida where it is literally 100 degrees outside right now. So from the months of June to August, I am going to be in here hibernating, reading summer books to get my summer fix. I think I'm gonna go outside maybe 3 times this summer. But let's just go ahead and get started with the book recs. So I'm gonna get started by just going over some summer books that I've already read. I have been reading a ton, and with the 3rd season of The Summer I Turned Pretty coming out this summer, the last 30 days I read all 3 of these books, which is a lot for me. I'm kind of a slow reader, but I read all 3 of the Summer I Turned Pretty books, and even though these books are young adult, they don't necessarily feel that way. They're very easy reads. I love the summery vibe, the Northeast summery vibe, and the show very much exudes that too. I will say I don't really like the protagonists in these books. I think they all have so many issues, but that's kind of like what makes the characters so great, even though it's young adult. I would say if you are just starting to get back into reading, or you just like quick reads, or you're just a young adult read kind of person, these books are a must-have for summer. I'll talk about a book that I read last summer that is also young adult, I think is so perfect for the summertime, and that is The Summer of Broken Rules. I heard she has another book with a similar style cover and a similar like theme and everything, so I need to check that out. This book, I read it last summer and I really did love the summer vibes, and I loved the romance and I liked the characters. But I would give this book a 3 out of 5 just because this book has this like side game plot that goes on through it where you have to remember that they're like playing this ongoing game of tag and you have to like remember the rules. And that side plot is why I'm rating this book a 3 out of 5, because it kept taking me out of like the story and the romance and the summer vibe, and it would just kind of confuse me. So it wasn't for me, but I think that other people would love it. So now we're gonna get on to more books with spice. So we're gonna get into a Formula One. This book is Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. I'm a big Formula One fan, and I just started reading Formula One romances this year. I started reading this at the end of 2024, and I would say this is a perfect book for summer because of the timeline of it. It literally takes place from like June till the end of August, and it's cool because the characters are traveling the world doing these Formula One races in the summertime. So it has this very like adventurous travel theme with a brother's best friend romance. She just released her 2nd book in the series, which I'm going to go over shortly. Now we're gonna get on to 2 of my favorite summertime reads, which ironically both of them I did not read in the summertime. And that is Wildfire by Hannah Grace and People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Both of these authors are great summer authors, even when their books don't necessarily take place in the summertime. This is my favorite Emily Henry book, and this is my favorite Hannah Grace book. This is my favorite in the trilogy. Icebreaker and Daydream were like guilty pleasure reads for me, but I genuinely enjoyed this one. They're both spicy romances. They're both a little bit slow burn. This one takes place during a summer camp, which is so perfect. And then this one is a traveling romance, so it takes place in different places all over the world during different summers. I highly recommend for the summertime. So now we're gonna get on to summer books that are currently on my TBR. Let's start with what I'm reading right now. Simone Sultani's 2nd Formula Romance book. I'm like almost halfway through it. It just came out a couple weeks ago. This is not a summer book, but I'm still putting it on here because I'm reading it right now, and I feel like they reconnect with the characters in her 1st book, Cross the Line, so it's still, and that like traveling aspect to it still gives me like summer vibes. It's funny because the very beginning of this book takes place in November, so like it could very easily be a like Thanksgiving read too. Going on to the actual summer reads. So what I'm going to be reading in June is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I know I said that People We Meet on Vacation is my favorite Emily Henry book, but confession, I've only read 2 of them. I read People We Meet on Vacation and Book Lovers. People We Meet on Vacation was probably one of my favorite reads I've read in a really long time, and then when I got to Book Lovers, I DNF'd it. I didn't hate it, it just wasn't for me. I'm going to be reading Beach Read and The Wedding People by Alison Esbach this June. I am going to be reading this one on the beach during my bachelorette weekend next weekend. I'm very, very excited about this one. I've heard nothing but good things about this one. And I love a Rhode Island, Northeast US summertime. So any book that takes place in that area, I'm a sucker. But then I have 3 more books on my summer TBR, which I'm going to be reading in June and July. But the first one is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm trying to get caught up and read all of her books, especially since like everyone I know, and my best friend included, absolutely love her and swear by her books. I'm actually really excited for this one because it's an ensemble cast, and I am writing a book right now with an ensemble cast. So I feel like this one will give me a lot of inspiration. So I'm probably gonna read this one immediately after I finish Beach Read. The next one is One Italian Summer. I think I'm gonna read this in August because I take my honeymoon in Italy in September. So I think this will be like the perfect book to read before go on my honeymoon in Italy. And then finally on my summer TBR is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I've never read any of Tessa Bailey's books, so I'm excited to see what I think of it. My best friend absolutely loved and sweared by this book, but that makes me kind of nervous because we have very different tastes. So sometimes her and I will absolutely love the same thing, and then other times we'll feel complete opposite of it. So anytime like she recommends something to me, I get excited, but then I'm like, okay, you know, don't get let down, because sometimes her and I just have very different tastes in things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's very normal in very close friendships, but she really does think I'm gonna love this book. So I'm probably gonna read this one in July. That will conclude my reading list for the summer. I really hope I can read 30 books in a year this year. I think I'm getting close already. I've always wanted to read 30 books in a year, and I've never gotten to it because, like I said, I'm kind of a slow reader. I think the most I've gotten is like 21 or 22 in a year. I'm hoping with all this extra time I have this summer that I'm gonna read a lot more. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more. I also have vlogs on this channel, and every once in a while I will also do videos on writing advice and things of being a writer. If you have any questions for me, please comment down below.